segment I thought we would talk about is our first Cascade memory. Let's talk about our first lacrosse memory. And so I'll start with mine because you did yours.
Please do it.
And so I had, the original, which I think you called the CLH, the Cascade lacrosse helmet, which is hilarious for...
it's amazing our acronyms we have.
Yeah,
it surprises me every time.
It's awesome because it was like when we first started doing mesh and everything, I was like, throne mesh? Like, I guess I don't have any better terms, but it was like a perfect name for it. Like, that would be as well. And we all, like, those were all team issued. But when I was a freshman in high school, the C Pro came out. And I saw the Gates wearing it. And I was just like... my life is not complete until I have a C Pro because I have to have that mono chin piece, and if I don't, I'm not good. so I did everything. I like saved my money. I begged my mom. I was like it's better, and like I didn't know anything. I was like 14 at the time, and I remember getting it and just being like showing up to practice and just like rocking it to practice with like the chin off and just like down all the way. And I remember the other thing is like it had a black chin. You couldn't get anything but the black chin. And so I had it like navy and yellow. And when I got out of the box, I was like, it looks like a duck's mouth. And I was like, what did I do? Why did I do this? And then as soon as I got on the field at practice, everyone was like, what? Yeah. And then my best friend got one as well. And it like ruined it for me because I'm that selfish when I'm 14. But it was amazing. I had it, and it was like I remember getting that that 3-day ridiculous turnaround you guys offer, getting in that box and just being like the crowning video, but like being 14 and getting it. And it was amazing, and it was really cool. I still have like the crop jerseys with like the giant
porthole mesh,
with that helmet on, and it's like when I see those photos, I was like, man, I had something going on there in 2003. But it was awesome, and getting the C Pro was definitely a special experience. So what's yours?
Probably my first one was getting the bucket helmet. Yeah. That's actually where I started in 4th grade, and putting that thing on, I was like a stick. I literally looked like a walking, and then it helped even more that I was like in goal, and so I had to be like the true definition of like a lacrosse kid that looks like a bobblehead, because those things were like they were advanced for the time, but they were not light. When you hold it against it, it's like paperweight, and then like holding a feather right next to one another. And so when you go like that, I was literally like.
You go post to post and keep going with it. That's awesome. We were just out in Long Island. I was heading out to Scotty's house, and there's a field right next to his house, and we were driving by, and there was a little kid in net, and I'm just like, how do they why do they use full-size goals? It's ridiculous how big they are.
Yeah, it's like
you like jumping with the stick, you can't even reach it. That's the other really good one I have was there was a kid named Max that was 2 years older than me, because I got to start early because I had lacrosse experience because my dad played, and I was 6th grade playing on the 7th and 8th grade team, and we were doing the ground ball drills, and most people know I love ground balls. I will sacrifice everything to get you that ball back, and I'm a big.
That's how you have to be, though. Don't fool yourself. If you're thinking about anything but that ground ball, you're not getting it.
Yeah, and because I knew it would hurt, but at least I knew I gave it everything I could give, and and I went in for a ground ball, and we were doing the star drill when you go for it and you do the 3-on-2. And I was coming down, and I went for the ball. I was like, I'll just get lower than this kid. And this, there's always that one kid that's like just a house, and you're just like, how are you this size? Like, it's when you don't understand genetics yet, and you're like upset because the kid's bigger.
First time you play football and you go against the big kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, this was the football kid that they're like, you could play defense, and then
great. This is where he gets his redemption. Where once I have the ball and I juke him, now he finally has me lined him up.
Exactly.
Great, thanks, coach.
So I tried to get as low as I could, and he came into me, and that's when they had the visors, and the visor went in between my collarbone and my skin, and it just knifed me right here. And so I went down. This was all numb, pinched
nerves. You got a cool scar or something?
I don't have a scar.
I don't want to show it or anything.
I don't have a scar.
This is a PG show here.
But this shoulder is like a half an inch lower.
Really?
Because we
you
broke
know
something.
That for your posture.
Yeah, no, I'll show you. It's a good time.
So can you sit up a little bit more?
If I sit up,
got
this
a
one's
drop?
lower. Yeah, and the funny thing about it is it was like the whole thing, and it turned like purple, pink, magenta.
You had the full Cascade
it was. I've never seen such a disgusting bruise in my life, and it was all from that visor that is now obsolete.
Man.
because it's like that thing was like a plastic knife.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much straightforward. It was, I mean, just one of the reasons why we changed it.
But yeah, no, I mean, I never saw anyone else having to, but he squared me up perfectly, like, because he's a football kid, so he's like down, perfect, squared to my shoulders, and I just remember laying on the ground and being like, you know when you get like a dead arm? I'm like, yeah, that's not good. I hope this wakes up. and then it was the whole thing, like at school, like anytime, because I had like a one of those like soft braces for a while.
Yeah.
And anytime anyone
Did you
say
have Rookie of the Year or?
Oh no, I didn't have. That would be amazing, dude. I love
just
that
like
movie.
you just be able to like all of a sudden
just one hand ripped. I'm like Mark Matthew-ing everyone. But no, anytime anyone would like say anything, I would just lower my shirt like in class, and the girls would be like, "Oh, it's green." And it was a really good time. And then I got the C Pro, which had the mini one. I was like, how am I ever gonna get this kid back?
Oh, the little gap.
Yeah, just
everybody loves looking through that little gap. They're like, you remember that? Where it's just like you could just crank. I think that's one of the places where Tilt was born.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm being naive here and just
it's probably because the visor was also shorter, so people wanted it more because you didn't really.
That was prior to my days of critique, so way prior.
But I actually have my C Pro at home. I should have brought it. That was a party foul on my part.
I probably should have grabbed the my Gatorade helmet that I have in my car.
That was the most requested helmet. I posted that photo to Instagram.
That was actually one I designed when I was still working
at my travel team, right?
Yeah.
God, that's so awesome.
That was probably one. What's that?
So it was my favorite. It was my favorite one I saw in Syracuse.
Oh, you like that one?
Oh,
that one wasn't even.
I put that on. That was the first one I put on.
Yeah.
Really?
No, Instagram was just like
orange
Gatorade helmet.
Right?
Yeah, well,
orange chin piece with the lightning bolt.
Well, obviously we get to do a couple special things when you work there. You get a couple extra privilege. I ended up putting the orange chrome mask on that thing. It just pops, and it's literally it's the one I wear when I'm in goal. So I'm just like,
that's awesome.
I'm just like, that's the cool thing about these is like, forget the fact that I like work for them or whatever. Like you put these things on, it's like you become something else. Like when that was one of the things that was like that was so like well captured about the new
the crowning video.
The new crowning video is like that's so true. Like when you put that thing on, it's like that's your game face. Like this thing becomes a unifying like moment where like you're all together, everybody's all the same, and it's like doesn't matter what your skin color is or whatever. But now it's matte black.
Yeah. Now it's awesome. Now Batman is in it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's you definitely hit it, and it's like it's like when you watch hockey and a helmet comes off, and you're like, oh, that's weird. That kid's got hair. Like, it's very, it is, and there's something very special about like I've talked about in Message Mondays, like people ask me random questions, and people are like, what's your favorite thing about lacrosse? Or like, why do you love it? And I always say like, string and six is awesome being on the field, but it's like, putting on that helmet, and it unbuckled, pulled down, walking out on that field with like, just your warm up on, it's like done. Bury me, I'm good. There's something about that that's just so special.
The Pavlov's dog for me is hearing this.
That thing?
Yeah. Once I have this thing on and I just hear that.
We have to test this. Yeah.
I'm just like, yes, it is game time. Like I am focused. Like I've already like done all of the meditating and visualization. Like it's go time. Like,
you're a goalie when you say visualization. Yeah. But we're gonna take you to dinner and just like Mac's gonna come up behind you and be like, and you're just like run out the door and tackle someone.
Get real tense.
Or while he does that, I'd like throw something and you have to block it. But no, it's awesome. John Grant, yeah. And it's definitely something special that and being like and seeing Cascade and meeting you and walking through there, it was definitely. Like everyone, like we got to go play a native team in box. Like checked off the awesome book, and they're all like, "What are you talking about? We went to Cascade," and it's so funny. And I'm like, "Guys, like, come on!" They're like, "No, we got to go to Cascade," and it really was that special. And looking back, it was awesome. Like, it's Syracuse was a dream. All the things we were able to do. You
know how like when you start doing things normal or habitually and stuff like that, it doesn't become quite as cool.
Oh yeah.
This is something that like for me, even like working there almost 2 years, like it's still like cool every single time I walk in there, and you like go into like the plant and you see everything being put together. Like there's real people like that I see every single day that I know, and they're putting these things together, testing them, and it's just. It still like blows my mind when you think about like the whole kind of like
process.
Right, exactly. Well, not only that, but like you start thinking about like where your gear comes from and like stuff like that. And it's like I'm so proud and couldn't be happier.
Part of it. Yeah. No, it's.
I'm honored. Honestly, God, I couldn't imagine myself in a better position. Not to just ring the bell or whatever. It's just. It's that cool. It really is.
No, for sure. I mean,
it is.
We felt that too, and we also felt a lot of the, I guess, respect you had for it, and you're like, it's awesome. Like, let me share this. This is so awesome. And I mean, we have that a lot too. It's like when we come out, when we're developing new products and stuff like that for Throne, and it's like Chris and Scott are like, or even Mackie's just like, so, when do I get mine? Like, can I have this one? And I'm like, no, I gotta take a photo. He's like, don't worry, I'll take the photo. Just let me take that.
No, that's my trick. That's my trick. Is like when I want one, like I don't like take it obviously, but it's just like, but I just like want to hold it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to take a photo of this one. I need one of those.
And then you're like, bird, and you run out of the room.
What team is that for? Don't worry about it.
That's awesome though. But no, we definitely share that in common. All right, and let's show a few more of these really special ones, and then we'll get into the awesome ones.
Let's do the Hopkins one.
Yeah, well, we have to do the Virginia for Mac, or he'll be upset.
Oh, my fault.
You do the Virginia, and I'll do the Hopkins, because both these are special.
This is for Coach Stars right here.
No, and you talked about
Van Arsdale.
You talked about like the mentality of putting it on. It was like when we were walking through all these helmets, every time we turned around, Mac had a different one on, and you're like, "How are you changing so quick?" He's very efficient.
Yeah, every single time. Everybody underestimates your sneakiness.
Good at trying stuff on.
So these both premiered this year, and this was one of the first ones with the chrome, I believe. And these are just so special. Absolutely. So this is JHU, and that one says...
This one says Wahoo's.
Wahoo's. Oh, of course it does. That one's so... But I love... The new thing that I'm really into is the extra large logo.
Yeah, it's almost like... What I like is the tone-on-tone logos.
Oh, for sure.
Like this, like for Virginia... To be able to put a navy one on a navy and then do kind of like the oversized logo. Yeah. This was perfect. I love this helmet. And I really wish it turned out a little bit differently for them this year because they really had some awesome gear this year.
Yeah, totally agree.
Not that they don't like every single year, but like this one especially, I just think they kind of knocked it out of the park. And I mean, this was... I don't think it was really derived from the Syracuse one. I think that's unfair of me to say by any means. But like when I look at helmets, I'll look at them and I'll take all the decals off and see whether we've actually made these. You know what I'm saying? But one of the cool things is like I sit like right next to customer service, and we have new helmets, combinations of colors that we've never made. Like we test like the colors and stuff like that. Options. But there's like millions.
Yeah, I guess.
So like we have new ones where it's like we've tested that color and stuff like that, but it's like. We haven't you assembled that right exactly done it all together. Because if you do that
for an order,
you're talking millions of helmets just go to waste.
Now your guys' job is to figure out those combinations.
Right, exactly.
You're gonna get like lime green. You're gonna get some ugly helmets coming out.
Yeah, you gotta start doing the ugly one. Oh, you want? All right.
Put this on. I can't put on Hopkins one. I guess I can.
Is that sacrilegious to you?
I'm just. I probably shouldn't say it.
Do you want to do? Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
If we're gonna put on a helmet, if we're gonna do it,
we're gonna do a helmet. We'll do this.
Let's do the R's.
And now let's get into the new Cascade R. We couldn't help ourselves, so
it's Cascade Madness.
So we actually have the first helmets with the R, and they are all the MLL series. I'm wearing the Lizards, of course.
I'm wearing the Bayhawks, reigning champions. I mean, you can't really mess with that.
Wow, that's a sensitive subject.
Why?
Just is.
Oh.
Because everyone hates.
Sounds like a personal problem. Sounds like a personal problem. What's up, Bayhawks? What's up, Hawk?
Oh my God, I hate you. But
it's all right.
It's all right.
I'm easily hated. Right. I'm easily hated. I mean, I have that.
But
it's on my LinkedIn profile. It says easily hateable. It's sponsored even.
It's sponsored by Hater Hate.
People.
Okay. I can't even.
You digress.
Yeah. So, coming from Cascade, this is the first time people might be seeing video of these. Besides,
this will be the first time people will see video of these.
Okay. Well, now I feel nervous.
You should.
You should. This is very special. So quickly, you just want to run us. You probably won't be quickly, but what is the concept or the idea of the R?
Okay, so here's the basic rundown of this. We really wanted to find something that was going to manage low and high energy impacts, because there's a lot of different types of impacts that you take. There's linear, there's rotational, there's combinations of the both, and then
ground.
Right, exactly. So, well, I mean, like a linear is like if I smoke you over the head with a stick or something like that, a direct impact and things like that. Rotational is like when you snap your head back, like for lack of better terms, we're just saying that generally.
Yeah.
But the number one thing we really wanted to focus on was fit, because fit, whether your head size and shape, it's important that the helmet fits right.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about when I was up there, like everyone asked me Pro 7 or CPXR, and I go try it on.
Yeah.
Because that's by far the most important aspect for protecting your brain is fit. And this feels amazing.
I can't say I'm uncomfortable right now. Let me just put it that way.
I could do this. It's like if I could figure out how to get a sandwich in here, golden.
You want like a sandwich hole?
Can we just like Dremel this out?
See, okay, so let me put it this way. So you had the Pro-Fit adjustment system on the Pro 7.
Yeah.
So, no, that's actually the Super-Fit system on the R. On the Pro 7, you had the Star Wheels, and then you had the Pro-Fit adjustment system, and you locked them in. So what we were finding is that, although the Pro 7 is a phenomenal helmet, and it's a high-end, I mean, it's a great helmet.
It's just widely used.
Yeah, exactly. I still use a Pro 7. I mean, until I get my R and I can splurge on that. Yes, we even have to pay for our own helmets.
Yes, he doesn't have an R yet.
Right. Well, I mean,
kinda.
Theoretically.
Vicariously.
Right. I live vicariously through my promotional helmets.
Through my job.
So, anyway, we found that a lot of the guys weren't really fully adjusting them, or they didn't like really do it. I mean, lacrosse savvy people and stuff like that who are really aware, like, will do it. But I mean, there are lacrosse savvy population as well that just don't care. I mean, they just want to throw their helmet on and just go play, rightfully so.
Like the Mark Matthews where he just flips it up.
So I mean, we took that mentality and we're like, okay, well, these guys have to be doing it. We need to make it easier, and we felt like we implemented that with the introduction of the Super Fit or the SPR Fit,
which is the CPRX system.
CPXR.
Yeah.
So, and what we did back there is, I mean, you can literally tighten and loosen this with one hand.
Yeah.
And it's actually important that you loosen this thing before you take it off. Because if you're doing this, it's on your head. It's like trying to rip off a shoe that's tied. Exactly. So you want to make sure, again, easily. So we have also a second part of the adjustment system is the adjustable jaw pads. And customizable. So it'll come with 3 of them. 3 sizes. Yeah.
So like small, medium, large.
Yeah. So it'll come with medium in there.
Okay.
Or in the helmet. Right. And then so you have a small and a large in here.
Okay.
And so
I have the medium, right?
Right. And so
the medium feels great.
Like what I want to do.
Small in yours.
Yeah, because I got a big head. I literally only clicked this once.
I had like 6. I think I can count it.
That's all right.
It's all right. That's okay.
I had swelling. Maybe I was dropped when I was a kid. It probably would explain a lot.
You're from higher altitude.
So anyway, I mean, this is completely re-engineered, to say the least. I mean, you look at this thing, you know that it's a Cascade helmet.
You see the lineage, but you see the
awesomeness. Right, exactly. As it continues to evolve, there's more venting, there's more rigidity in the facial structure.
With this awesome, so it actually continues past the ear into the back.
One of the most exciting things for me is this chin piece, because I, being a goalie, like to venture out into the field every now and then and test my skills out. And there was one time where I really forgot to wear shoulder pads, and I put my head down like an idiot and went to go hit somebody. And I felt it, like my previous helmet, like the chin piece went straight into my sternum. And if you can see it, it's flared out, so it's way more dulled off.
It has that more pulled element, which I think is really cool.
This thing literally looks like it's going 100 miles an hour. So I love the thing. I really do. There's more venting. You can't just like sit here and say, oh, well, it's a CPXR. It just that's it. Because the thing is like, it's not just a CPXR. Look at the angles of the mask. The lines on here. Come out to the Big City Classic if you haven't already.
It's post.
All right.
They did.
Well, all right, whatever. So regardless, we'll have them at other events that we'll be at and stuff like that.
At every event you'll have these.
Yeah, definitely going forward. So before you make up your mind and stuff like that on whether you think you have it all figured out, I think I had it all figured out, and then I tried it on for the first time when we first got it on, and I could seriously sit here for hours. In fact, we have our guys, when they sit at the computers and stuff like that, design them, well, they'll leave it on all day.
Yeah,
or they'll leave it on at hours at a time to test the comfort and stuff like that. Test it at every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct of them was like, oh, you know, it's like a hybrid helmet between the two. And then trying it on and wearing it, the feel and fit and balance. Balance is the biggest thing for me in helmets. And that's why I love your guys' M11, because it feels literally like a crown. It just sits on your head and you feel the protection. But with the, you know, with my... the helmet, the matte black I just got from you, it feels, you know, kind of forward heavy. It kind of has that feel to it compared to this with the M11. And I like the, you know, the elongated feel of it, and actually a field helmet that feels like the M11, which is, you just forget you have it on. And that's what it feels amazing.
I use a Pro 7, and it's because my head shape, I literally have like a beluga head or something like that. So I fit into that. I fit into both, but I prefer the Pro 7.
Okay.
And so like I like the mono shell that's on it, and I love that this has a mono shell.
I love this.
Yeah.
The color. Do I have a color insert?
No, yours is all black.
Oh.
Do I have?
You have a color. I feel like we're playing that card.
That's actually something we probably should mention. The chin piece will match the visor insert.
That's so
with a
cool.
visor washer. And we wanted to make that thing stick out a little bit more compared to what it did on the Pro 7. And I mean, they did a great job with it. The lines are taken from high-end cars. I mean, it's called chine lines. There's actually what these little lines that you'll see on the side of the helmet.
I like how you kept kind of the visor in here, but it's a monochrome. Like the shape of that. That's very, very, very cool.
It's sleek. It's easily my favorite helmet we put up.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about it is how tight it is. You know, it really feels like you trimmed down things that weren't needed and then added protection, which like anything across the lighter you can be and yet being more protective is exactly what you're looking for, which is just really special. And it's just the cage on this thing is so nasty.
I think what people like don't even look at first, and they probably should, look in it.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing we'll get to is the...
Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Well,
Sorry.
you shouldn't, because that's actually, like, having me here, I'm like, look at it, it's beautiful! But, you know, the big thing when I actually tried it on, I talked about the comfort, is this liner. It's the nicest looking liner.
Yeah, it's a combination of our 7-Tech, or our patent 7-Tech. It's industry revolutionary product. And then to add in Poron, which is
the yellow, correct?
Right, which is most noticeable by the yellow, and then it's in 3 key areas throughout the helmet, and it helps to attenuate or dissipate the impact from low energy, which happens a lot more frequently. So if you kind of think of like your brain of having like a computer bandwidth or like internet bandwidth, and like you have like, well, just think about it. Go with me.
I got you.
Okay, so if you have a lot of shaking and stuff like that, you're going to start taking up that bandwidth. So like just little jostles here and there, even like whipping your head around or just like doing little things like this, it's already working. But then when you have the larger impacts or the high energy impacts, you have a combination of both, and they're both still working.
Got it. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely...
And I mean, I think the biggest thing is immediate reset, because when you get, for instance, if I hit you, you have that impact, and then you hit the ground, and then somebody falling on you is somebody else. You got 2 or 3 impacts. Usually every single time there's a higher energy impact, there's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So you have to have something that resets immediately.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I mean, I know because when I go through a lot, I always push into a guy, and I get flags for heads every game. I get hit in the head, and I could see, you know, those 2 different dynamics of protection really helping when you're, you know, really pushing the cage and you're getting those hard slides to you. And so it's awesome to see it. I mean, it's really cool to understand, you know, your guys' base for this is really the protective aspect.
Right.
And then you guys get to put the candy on top of it and just make it amazing. And yet, you know, it also has that functionality, which is amazing. You know, not only is it a cool looking helmet with, you know, the monocomp and the adjustment fit, it's like the lines have cleaned up the helmet, made it, you know, lighter feeling, tighter to your face.
Right.
It's and like the closer this can get to you without being uncomfortable, you have better vision. It's just awesome. And
you'll notice that like when you put this thing on some of the previous ones, you could just out of the edge of your peripheral, you might be able to see a little bit of the shell. Yeah. This one, like, I can't even like.
I like how you're doing this right now.
Yeah, I'm literally doing this. Like I can see.
Yeah. No,
I can see like right.
Yeah.
There, and then I have another like finger width to
I mean, the whole helmet that was like elongated and vertical is really turned to like a 40 and shrunken, which is just such a really cool look. And I could see, you know, being in tight and really getting down, giving that a little bit trim to it would definitely help you out from getting hit. And not to mention just the overall. protection of it's awesome. And this is just swag for days.
I think one of the things that
I don't have one, though.
one of the
I'm
subtle
forgetting.
things about this I like is the attachment pieces.
Yeah,
So now they're like
it's
all
not
angular
the,
and a little bit more like
the
aerodynamic.
chunk.
Yeah, as opposed to like kind of a little bit more of a blocky piece.
Totally.
And it's just, I don't know, there's a little Cascade on there and stuff like that too. So
You guys know what you're doing.
the designers do. I just kind of,
You just get to be like,
I get to wave the flags. I'm like, thanks,
That's
guys.
Very good. That's very good. You're like, it's so sick, and they're like back there on computers. That's awesome.
I'm making them nervous right now because I'm talking about it. So
Okay.
they're probably
Right.
just like,
They're
Demo,
babies.
don't say anything.
Don't make any promises.
Don't do it. Gonna put it through legal.
So that's absolutely awesome. It's a beautiful helmet. I can't wait to see it hit the field this summer in the MLL.